Aloha, my friends, and happy Moon Day. Happy Monday. It's so interesting that Monday is related to the planet, the moon. And every single day, Moon Day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is actually named after a planet. Okay, so today is Moon Day. And I thought that that was very interesting. So I've been observing this for several years and knowing that each day is named after a planet. And I've been observing, okay, so does the name of the day, the planet that it's named after, is it affecting the collective energetic of the collective? Am I sensing it in myself? Do I sense it in other people? Do I sense it out in the world? And so it's very interesting with Moon Day because the moon is the energy of home. It's the planet most closely linked to the energy of home and family. It's one of the most private energies. It likes its privacy. It likes to be comfortable. It's highly intuitive, highly sensitive. In fact, the sign that the moon is associated with is Cancer. And so Cancer, the symbol for Cancer is the crab, who has this very protective outer coating, right? This hard shell. And yet inside, it's so soft, right? It's so soft and vulnerable and sensitive. And so I've noticed on Moon Day, people tend to be very sensitive. They tend to be very, almost like have a thinner skin. Right? A lot of people like, we don't want to get up and go to work on Monday, right? On Moon Day. Well, why is that? Yes, it's the start of the work week, but I find it very interesting that Moon Day, related to the moon, is our first day. So I just wanted to kind of give you some support if you have dealt with, gosh, moon days are just always so challenging if you have to go out and do something. And if you're someone who has the luxury to create your own schedule, I've actually had this sort of dream schedule that I've created in my mind based on what I know about the days of the week. And so I know Moon Day is going to be a more sensitive internal day. I'm going to really enjoy self-care. I'm going to really enjoy staying in my PJs, getting up late, eating a nice breakfast, and really caring for myself, right? And so I wanted to share this with you in case you have that luxury to create your own schedule and then inspire you if maybe you don't have that luxury to take it easy on moon days. Be conscious that you may be more sensitive, those around you may be more sensitive, everyone may be really just wanting to be at home, eating some good food, nourishment, which is one of the aspects of the moon, and taking care of how you feel. And I find it so interesting. So this whole the next several days, I'm going to be jumping on here and coming to you live with information about the day and what planet rules that day, as well as what is happening with all the other planets. Because on each day, we have the sun and the moon, and we have this band, a zodiacal wheel of constellations. Those are the signs. So things like, the signs Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, etc., are in a band that we circle through, right? That go around us, essentially. And so then there are about 10 planets that we know of and asteroids. And those planets and asteroids move through those signs and constellations and travel. And so whatever constellation a planet is in on any given day, there tends to be a vibrational, energetic frequency effect from above to us here on the ground. And so that is why I love to come here and do a live with you all and share what are the current constellational energies? What signs are the planets in? What sign is the sun in? What sign is the moon in? Those are the two kind of the poles, the polarity, yin and yang, male, female. Sun is soul. It's purpose. It's expansion. It's hot. It's bright. It is shining, right? It's the center, supposedly. And then the moon represents emotion. It represents how we feel, right? And so today is Moon Day. And so it's a day where we may be getting more in touch with how we feel. We may be having greater intuition, greater awareness. we may be a little more psychic or a little more sensitive. Okay. And so a great way to nurture yourself on moon day is make sure you get plenty of water, because the moon rules the water. So really work on staying hydrated. Another thing is self-care. You know, can you get yourself a nice fruit smoothie? Can you get yourself a nice salad? Can you get yourself a meal that helps you feel really replenished and really taken care of, right? Because the moon relates to the mother, and the mother does what? The mother takes care of us, right? She holds us, she nourishes us, she nurses us, right? So the moon relates a lot to nourishment, to care, to the mother, okay? And so it can bring up themes for us around nurturing, around self-care, around loving ourselves, around taking care of ourselves. And so all of that may be coming up today for you, for the collective. And so what can we do about that? Well, going near water is really powerful. Drinking lots of water, again, is really great. Hydration, nourishment is so, so, so key. Nourishment from food, but also spiritual nourishment. So maybe taking some time to do a restorative yoga class, or to go out into nature and really receive, right? Because one of the things that the moon really teaches us about is the importance of receiving, right? The sun maybe gives more, it's more yang, it's more external, whereas the moon is so much more about how we feel and the things that we need to really nourish and fill ourselves back up, to fill up our own cup, right? So take care of yourself today, drink lots of water. And this is great every day. But when the moon rules the very name of the day, and we all know that names and words have power, right? Spelling relates to the word spell. And so there's energy in words. And if so many people are thinking about this moon day, and it relates back to the energy of the moon, it relates back to the word moon, luna, then there may be, and I've noticed that there is quite a strong effect around us, right? So taking care of ourselves, self-care, loving ourselves, right? Because the moon is nourishment. And so the biggest food, the biggest nourishment that we can have on this earth is love. Okay. So we are also entering in a kind of fiery, powerfully activating time, because the sun, right, with the masculine energetic, has gone into Aries. And Aries is leadership. It is fire. It is power. It is very action oriented. On the negative side, it can tend to be more self-centered or self-serving. It can be hot-headed. It can be prone to take action without thinking. And it also, the Vedic symbol for Aries is actually the chariot with two horses. And so I've always felt a connection between Aries and driving. And so with the sun in Aries and now Venus tomorrow entering Aries, I really want to stress the importance of safety while driving, because Aries can encourage us to act fast, to think fast, to take action without thinking, and to want to charge ahead. And so imagine if many people on the planet are wanting to charge ahead and take action, and they're energized and they're activated, they may not always be thinking of safety. And so just be very careful right now. Let's see. Sun is going to get a little deeper into Aries, and the energy will calm down a bit as we enter into the first week of May, like around May 5th, May 10th. Okay, and then we'll be getting into Taurus May 13th. Okay, so we have this pretty short window. Aries is only about 18, 19 days long. So from April 18th until May 13th is Aries. And that's fire energy, sun in Aries. Then we're going to move into Taurus at about May 13th. And Taurus is earth. And right as the sun enters Taurus, it's going to conjunct, be in exactly the same sign as Jupiter, the millionaire planet. And so I really sense and feel, and it's also going to be conjunct Uranus, which is change, technology, and sudden unexpected happening. So I really sense that there may be some big up-leveling around finance, around wealth, especially as we approach May. because it will be more grounded. Right now, we have an incredible wealth aspect with Venus, the planet of the billionaire, going into Aries tomorrow, and that's fire. Okay. And so, as awesome as it is to have the billionaire planet in Aries, it's also a fire sign. And so, there is, fire creates and it can also destroy. And so, we have to be mindful of this. And I've been contemplating this as I've been excited, that the billionaire planet is conjunct the sun. Super exciting, such a powerful activation, stepping into leadership, especially feminine leadership. We have to be careful of too much heat here, especially, it's interesting here in California because it just started getting really hot. Okay. And so the part of the body that Aries rules is the head. Okay. And so getting hot headed, getting overheated, those are things to watch out for with both the sun, which is a very large energy, and Venus, another very large energy in the constellation of Aries. So let's open up the chart so we can dive into this a little more deeply. If you have any questions or you'd like to go deeper, I did just host a 5-day challenge and the recordings are now going up in the group. So comment below if you want access to that group. There's literally, one of the participants said there's thousands of dollars worth of value that they received from the 5-day challenge that we just completed. And it was literally us working through clearing blocks around soul purpose, showing how the chart, the astrological chart, can show this, as well as blocks around our wealth planets and how to more deeply embody our connection to wealth and abundance. At the end of the training, I asked everyone to tell me on a scale of 0 to 10 the number they felt about money, and they were all at a 10. And so if you would like to have access to some of that magic, just leave a comment below and I will send you the link. I feel transformed from the experience and happy and grateful to facilitate it. And so if you want more information, you can leave a comment below. I am going to get into today's chart. There's a lot happening, and I think it would be really beautiful to share it with you all. So I'm going to share screen. And, comment below if you enjoy these readings, if they're helpful, if they assist you. If you have any other questions or anything else you would like addressed, that will assist me as I create content for you all. And this is really to be of service. I found knowing what this information is to be extremely helpful in my daily life. And so I thought, oh, maybe some other people would like to know what's happening in the stars today. All right. So if you're in California, if you're in the United States, then this chart will be totally applicable to you. If you're perhaps in another country, the outer rim here, which is the signs, may change, which would change what signs are on which houses. Each of the houses relate to an arena of our lives. So what are we even looking at when I open up this chart? So let's imagine standing in the center of this chart, and that's us. Okay, we're standing and our feet are standing on this middle line, and that's the horizon line. Okay. This represents all of the constellations that are right now currently up in the sky overhead. Well, aren't all of them up overhead? Well, we can only see between 6 and 7 of them at one time. And so everything below this middle line is actually planets and signs, constellations, and the planets and the signs that those planets are in that we cannot visibly see with a telescope. Right now, they're below our awareness in terms of sight. They're still there. They haven't changed, but we just can't see them at this now moment. And so whenever a planet is in a sign below the horizon line, it means that we don't have access to its energy as strongly. It's a bit more internal. It's a bit more yin. It's a bit more out of reach energetically. Okay. And so when there's a ton of planets here, we tend to be more internal. We tend to take time to, go within and focus on our own energy field, etc. Today, I'm noticing that really the 3 planets that are under the horizon line, so they're going to be the most internal, are the moon, conjunct Kitties, which is the asteroid of nourishment and how we nourish others, and Pluto. And so this is really important to be noticing right now. I've noticed, the moon changes signs very rapidly. So about every 1 to 2 days. Whereas the other planets, some take years, like the outer planets, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, they can take years to stay in one sign. They move very, very slowly through that sign. Whereas the moon moves really fast, right? You notice it's like changing a lot, right? And so today, the moon is starting to go into an aspect, which means a relationship. It's getting close to the planet Pluto. Oh my goodness. So what does that mean? Well, on the positive side, almost every other planet is above the horizon. And so everything above the horizon relates to us being more outer directed, more yang focused, more sort of activated towards what we want to achieve and create today. And so we have the sun in a loose conjunction to Venus. And so there may be a lot of excitement about following our purpose because the sun can be purpose. Venus is love and money. And so we might be really excited about shining light on our purpose and making money doing it, which is such an exciting time. We also have Chiron close to Venus as well, which is the wounded healer. And so this is kind of an interesting combination, right? We have Chiron, the wounded healer, which represents that place inside of us that is still as yet unhealed. It's in Pisces, which is all about intuition. It's all about psychic ability. It's all about our senses. It's about who we are on a spiritual level, right? Who we are on a metaphysical level, who we are when it comes to connecting and receiving divine messages, divine awarenesses, intuitions, guidance, right? That sixth sense, that sense like someone's going to call right before they call, or that sense, oh, they're not going to call and they don't call, right? It's that inner knowingness. And so how many times have you been sitting at home, you're like thinking about someone and the phone rings? Okay, so Pisces energy relates to that sixth sense, that awareness field. And so when we have Chiron there, it can mean that in the collective consciousness, there may be a wound around our psychic abilities, around our intuitive abilities, which I've found as I've been studying this could deeply relate to our feminine nature itself. So for how many thousands of years has the divine feminine energy been suppressed or belittled or put down? And so there may be a collective wound in the feminine consciousness. This is not just in women, this is also in men. And I'm just remembering part of a dream I had last night, and it related to kind of some intensity between a masculine sense of his femininity and his masculinity. Wow, that's really interesting. That just came to me. And so another thing that Pisces rules is dreams, right? And so you may be having sort of interesting dreams right now. You might be doing a lot of healing within your dreams. Pisces is also related to healing. The signs Pisces and Virgo tend to be the great healers of the zodiac, but they heal in very different ways. And so Virgo is more of the physical body healer. And that's actually where the past life or karmic point is, where we're kind of being told, okay, this is what we did in the past. This is what ways that we were that we maybe were really good at, but that we're not supposed to be focusing on as like our end result. And so Virgo relates to physical body health. It relates to, going to the doctor, relates to medicine, it relates to chiropractic and things that you do that involve physical body, physical reality treatment. And so with the South Node in Virgo, it may mean that right now, that's not where the real magic is in terms of healing. Rather, with the destiny point, what we're focused on working on in the collective in Pisces, that means that the healing energy of Pisces is more called for. It's more of our growth zone. And the healing energy of Pisces is the healing energy of the soul. And so working with a soul healer, working on the level of the soul. I met a really powerful healer named Master Shah many, many, many years ago, where I first learned about the power of the soul. He had a map of the energy body. And he said, where does the root of all issues or challenges come from? And he actually showcased that it comes from the level of the soul, that issues in the soul then trickle down into the heart, the mind, and then finally into the body or matter. Okay. And so to really get to the core root of issues and challenges that we may be dealing with it on the level of the soul is what is being highlighted right now. And so that's why I created my last 5-day challenge, is to work with the energy clearing modalities I know at the level of the soul to illustrate our connection to the soul in our birth chart. How there's 5 main things that illustrate our sort of soul essence as shown in an astrological chart, as well as then clear any blockages or traumas that may be connected to this. And I found that with a lot of participants, there's several of their soul planets were actually conjunct their Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer. And so there were wounds deep on the soul level that may have been interfering with them expressing their beautiful, true, authentic soul purpose, that maybe alchemizing or integrating these traumas from Chiron were part of what they need to do in order to fulfill their purpose, that trauma is part of their purpose. And, if you think about plants and you think about compost and how plants really need compost in order to grow, a lot of times it is our wound, it is the trauma we went through that becomes the compost to feed and nourish our soul. And that instead of looking at the things that have happened to us as challenges, perhaps seeing them as divine gifts that are here to support us and sustain us and draw us forwards. And so, keeping that in mind, I will be offering a 6-week masterclass. Students are already signing up. We're going to be starting in the next 2 weeks, and we're going to be diving into both learning how to read an astrological chart, going deeper into the mechanics of what is an astrological chart? How do I even read this? What does it even mean? And I am so confident in my ability to train other people. I've trained, goodness, over 20 people now with learning an astrological chart, and it's actually far simpler than it looks. It looks very complicated, but I've discovered a secret recipe to distill these concepts down so they're really easy to grasp. And once you have them, it's like having a magic lamp, a genie that you can make a wish, because you can literally decode for your clients, for your friends, for your family, for your, community, these incredibly powerful aspects that may be going on in their lives now, that may have happened in the past, and that may be at the root of their soul journey. Okay, so if you're interested in that, leave a comment below. I can direct you to find a link for that. I'm really excited. I hope we get a really great group together to dive into the power of the soul as the astrological chart reveals it. And I'm going to have to make another video here about this moon approaching Pluto. So hang tight for that. I send you so much love, so much gratitude. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for all of your birthday wishes last week. What a gift the birthday is. It's when our soul planet, the sun, lines up with where the sun was at the moment of our birth. It really brings to light and elucidates and makes clear our own soul blueprint, our soul pattern, our soul vibration, and then allowing and giving that love and support to each other on that special day is so, so beautiful and so appreciated. And I'm so, so grateful. I send you so much love from my heart. I send you love from nature, from the forest, from the waters, this river flowing by and the creek flowing by, and wishing you have a beautiful moon day. May you find the nurturing and the love of nature, the love of Mother Earth, the love of the sun, the love in your own heart. Feel that connection and know that you are beyond what that outer world may be mirroring back to you. You at your center are pure love and light. And just may that blessing ripple throughout your day, ripple throughout your life. May you remember who you are, which is a divine, beautiful child of the universe who has a purpose, who has a gift, who has talents and abilities that this earth is asking to receive. Thank you for that confirmation, my beautiful bird friend. And the whole universe celebrates you as you step into your knowing, as you step into your being, as you step into allowing the beautiful gift that you are to come through. And so one of the ways I assist people with this is through looking at your birth chart. And it's just amazing. I am less of an astrologer and more of a soul reconnection guide, soul midwife, if you will. So if you're looking to get reconnected to your soul blueprint as shown in your astrological chart, reach out. I'm happy to assist you and guide you and hold your hand through a beautiful process. So much love, so much gratitude. Wishing you all a super blessed, beautiful, divine day. So much love from my heart. Aloha.